Hey everybody, the Rookie here, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity.
Sure.
We're just going to continue our way through this area, and we're trying to... So we're in the Valewood, we're trying to get through there and make our way to the Gilded Vale, which is the nearest town. So my character did level up, so we're going to go ahead and put some more points into her. Going to go with a few more points into lore. Couple into survival just so we increase our healing and stuff like that. And we get to pick a new spell. I'm going to take another AoE. This one is Slicken. And a talent. What one do we want? What does this one do? Not sure what talent I want to take here. We're just going to grab one of these top ones, which are some damage abilities that we get to use per combat. Alright. And collect some stuff as we move our way down. Looks like we drew somebody's attention here. Well, that didn't work out so well. Completely missed him. Gonna have to finish this combat here. I hope, trying to save my spells for when I actually need them. So I'm just blasting him with my wand.
I'll get the next one.
This is slow and painful. I might just use the spell to end this suffering. Alright, we're gonna do it. Oh, no. Cancel. No, we don't want to quit. Whoa, where am I going?
Slow down. We got
Okay,
time
we
to
did
catch
manage
our
to
breath.
cancel that spell before it went off, because if I didn't want to use it, he died just as I went to use it, so I didn't want to waste that spell. So we're just going to push our way through, go right to the town this time. Take us 8 hours to complete the journey, which is fine. And here we are in the town of Gilded Vale. It's always a welcoming sight. Nice large tree with multiple bodies hanging off of it.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
So we're going to do the clever response, I think.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever conceived a Hollowborn child?
And we're going to take an aggressive approach.
The well-being of this village is my business. You'd best get used to the idea if you intend to live among us. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst. His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
Just seeing my responses here. We're going to tell him about the ceremony in the ruin, see what he has to say. So he doesn't believe us, as can be expected. Just asking him a couple questions.
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that. Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
So again, I'm going to take the aggressive response. Nothing like a warm welcome once we get to town.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Oh, that was it. Okay. You gonna move on? He said the inn is over here. The Black Hound Inn. Gonna run to that one.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
So, what kind of response are we going to give him this time? We'll keep goating him on here. And apparently it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go, that was simple enough.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation. Well, that is one way of putting it. Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusor, at your service. Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here? In Gwithan Ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there? You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments. An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale. Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately. I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday. Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places. As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pick him up. So that's one more party member. We're now going to have 2 mages, which I don't know will work very well, but we'll give it a try. See how we do.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
And he is leveled up as well. So we don't want athletics, we don't want stealth. We're going to give him some survival. You can see the kind of bonuses survival gives you. So just kind of a small buff to everything. So we're going to go ahead and pump a couple points into that. And then we probably push his mechanical up too, and he'll kind of be our trap specialist, I think. What do we want to give him? We already have. We'll have to grab a few more AoEs. And abilities. Or talents, pardon me. We'll give him Rhymer Summon, so it's summon a skeleton. So you have to wait. So if you read right here, this rhyme mimics the chanter's ability to summon skeletons, though it cannot be used until some time has passed in combat and cannot be used frequently. So we get it once per encounter, requires at least 15 seconds in combat, and it summons 2 human skeletons, which is perfect. And we're done leveling up him.
Hey there.
Might as well loot these bodies. And go on to the inn. Alright. Go and talk to the,
Greetings.
I guess the bartender or the operator of the inn. We'll ask about her inn here. So I'm not going to dally or to wait too long on those screens. If you want to finish reading them, you can always just pause the video and then continue once you finish reading. There is a lot of text in this game, just building the lore and the backstory and stuff. So you don't have to read them all, but it is a good idea to read most of it. We're going to go grab a room. We're going to... Ooh, just a second. How much money? No, we don't want to do that one. We don't have the money. We're just going to take the free room. So your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with the suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of the Gilded Vale's gallows tree. The Gilded Vale's gallows tree. That's a weird one to read. The creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face has shriveled inward like molding fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly, her head snaps up, and her eyes open, and they're empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a great gust of rancid air, she speaks the word, Watcher. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from the head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an adamancer. Though it fills you with a new queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. So we gotta go find a dead dwarven woman who is hanging from a tree in the town. Sounds like fun. I guess nobody minded that we killed the 3 peasants. It's always nice. So we're going to go, and there's the body right there.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes? The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay. What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, no, not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on, some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well, a wonder! Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties. You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company. Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me now. Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Alright, so we got the information we need from her.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Just going to see if Aloth knows anything about being a watcher here.
$17.5. 17.5. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman. The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta. The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway. Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved. I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first. Careful, friend. Best not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense. The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Just going through, getting a little bit of his backstory here. Like I said, there's a lot of text in this game, so you will have to spend some time reading. I'll try and kind of rush through it as fast as I can without trying not to take away from the storyline anyway.
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly. Especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Raedric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
So we're going to see if he wants to travel with us in our party. We have 2 mages, and he looks like he's a warrior, so we could always use him.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say Watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree. All right, then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
All right. So now we got 3 party members. Things are looking up. Now with the warrior here, I'm going to pump up his athletics. Gives him more endurance. There we go. And he gets a talent. Just seeing what some of these do. It's been a little while since I played the game, so I can't remember all the talents and spells and stuff. Increases friendly accuracy, I don't want that. I think I'm going to go for a defensive ability, because I think I'm going to make him kind of like my main tank, so he'll hold the line. Yeah, just like this says. When we fight somebody, I'll try and find a choke point, and he'll be one of the frontline guys. Increases his engagement limit, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. Perfect.
Hey there.
Now I want to find, there's a temple. Right there, the blacksmith. We're going to go sell a bunch of the stuff that's in our inventory at the moment. Clear it up and make room for when we head out on the road and do a little bit of adventuring. All right,
Hail,
so
traveler.
he gave us a quest. He's apparently missing a supply shipment that didn't make it. So we're going to have to go and look for it once we head out of town, so that's good. Now we're going to go ahead and look at his wares. See what he's got and what I can sell. I'm going to do this all off camera though, so we kind of save time. I'm just going to go through, dish out gear if I have any improvements for some of my characters, and then sell all the other junk. So I'll cut it here, and I will see you guys in the next episode, and we'll hopefully head out and start killing some things and get some excitement going in this game.